Welcome back to the Plus Money Podcast, your home for the best soccer bets in 15 minutes or less. We have one last weekend of matches before the final international break of 2024. We have a loaded weekend to look forward to. Top of the table, Liverpool hosting Aston Villa, and Chelsea will play Arsenal in a massive London derby with tensions in North London after some rough weeks for Arsenal and Arteta. Joining me is a Tottenham fan loving all of the Arsenal demise. Marcus Krum joins us. You can follow him at Marcus Krum. Excited to get you on the podcast. We chat bets pretty much on a daily basis on the train. So glad to get you on the show finally. Are you
Right, man.
excited?
Oh, I'm ready for it. The Metro North train rides to and from Stamford, Connecticut have prepared me for this moment. So I'm
Let's
ready.
let's get into it. We're going to Brighton. They're taking on Manchester City. Manchester City, I think, have lost 3 games in a row for the first time in the Pep era since his first season. So since they've actually been England's elite side. They're missing key pieces, and the Brighton draw no bet line is very inviting to me at plus 230. Their team total over 1.5 is plus 162. This is a very good Brighton offense, especially at home. But I think the thing I will be laddering is shots here 13 at minus 105, 14 at plus 140, and 15 at plus 200. I got burned really hard on shots in the Champions League this week. This is where I hope I bring it back. But I don't know. I'm confident in this Brighton team, especially with as beat up as Manchester City were. No Stones, no Ruben Diaz in the middle of the week. Kevin De Bruyne's not 100%. I think this is a game that I think Brighton can win. Certainly draw. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I hear everything you're saying, and I fully agree with your you know, seeing that the injuries that City have had pile up, especially, obviously we know Rodri, but across the board they've been banged up. Um, and they're struggling right now. They're in a poor run of form. All that said, I feel like if there's any way you can squeeze a Man City money line against a non-Big Six team and find a way to make it plus money, I think you got to do it. So I have actually in this one, I have Man City money line and both teams to score at plus 188. City only has 2 clean sheets in 8 away games this year, which that has been, like you said, they've struggled. But at the same time, like it's Manchester City. They're going to figure it out. We know they're going to get on the score sheet, and Brighton have struggled too. They've only won, or they're winless in their last three, and they're shipping goals. They've allowed 2 or more goals in 7 of their last 8 matches. Which if you need a salve as Manchester City for some of their recent struggles, like going up against a team that's shipping goals like Brighton. I love goals in this game, and I think City money line both teams to score at plus 180 at plus 188 is a good number.
Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. So here's the thing we can agree on. We love the over in this game. Over
Oh
three
yeah,
and a half goals probably has to be the play as well. I don't have the number in front of me, but we're moving on. I want to go to Brentford Bournemouth really quick. I love the first half over 1.5 plus 134. It's only hitting 2 of the last 5 for Brentford and 1 of the last 5 for Bournemouth. But here's the thing: Brentford love a first half goal, and that's at minus 122, and that's hitting 5 straight games. I think we can get 2 goals early in this one. The Bees love an early start. I love the first half over 1.5 has become my new favorite play. Am I hitting it on a regular basis? No, but it's a bet that I want to hit all the time. And I love that again on Saturday. Brian Mbuemo plus 175 anytime goal scorer. This screams a game that he scores in. It's at home for them. Bournemouth on a very good run, but Brentford genuinely a good team at home. So I like them.
yeah.
Let's
Can we get a number on Brentford in the first 2 minutes? Is that like at this point where I mean I know they haven't done it in the last couple games, but I feel like you got to throw some money on Brentford in the first half.
So Caesars usually has you can bet the game almost in like thirds of the game. It's like from 0 to 15, 16 to 30, 31 to 45, which there is a marketplace out there. You just got to look for it. Not all the books have it, but it is out there. And so if you're looking for it, Brentford first 15 is a very fun,
Oh, there we
it's a
go.
very cheeky bet. Jumping to one of the most informed teams in the country that no one is talking about. They're
Mm.
plus 180 money line this weekend, and it's Nottingham Forest. They're taking on Newcastle. And I know Newcastle just got a big result against Arsenal, but that was at home. And are we trusting Newcastle yet? And are we trusting, more importantly, Nottingham Forest at home? You're getting the plus 180 money line right now at home. You're definitely getting them at a good number, draw no bet. I'm willing to ride that. Additionally, I don't know how I didn't write it down, but if Chris Wood starts, it's an auto bet anytime goal scorer for him. He's been on fire. This
Listen,
is
man.
also the Chris Wood revenge game. He hit a hat trick against them last year.
That's right. And someone that we know dearly hit that hat trick last year at it was plus it had to be at least plus 1,000. Chris Wood right now is plus 200 anytime, which I mean that you have to hit that. He's got what 19 in his last 26 Premier League games, which any other player that's like that's a lock every week if they're plus 200. So I think you have to, especially with the form that Forrest's in.
Yeah, they've been a very pleasant surprise in the top four in a potential European spot. All right, and let's go to the London Derby. It's the big one of the weekend. It's Chelsea taking on Arsenal. We've seen both of these teams big week in Europe. Obviously, Arsenal going to Inter, Chelsea playing Noah FC, which
Yeah,
I
founded
have
in
never.
2017.
Yeah, yeah. Again, you know what? I think we could have found 18 guys named Noah that would have played Chelsea better than this team did after they got absolutely roasted today in the Europa Conference League. I'm kind of lost on where to go in this one. We saw Chelsea get into a very rough patch with Manchester United last weekend. Arsenal are crazy injured. No Odegaard, or Odegaard may play, but he's obviously coming back from injury. Declan Rice, who knows what's going to happen with him? They've got injuries in the back, Calafiori, whatever. They just haven't looked good. And I kind of think this is going to be a little bit of a gross game. So I'm going to play corners in this one. We saw Arsenal get 1,000,000 corners against Inter. The over Arsenal over 5.5 corners in this game is plus 120. They've only hit that in 6 of 16 games this season. But the reality is they're a corner merchant team. That's what they do. There's so much to that. Total corners in the game over 10.5 at plus 100. I kind of like that. That's where I'm going. And I would lean Chelsea draw no bet. I just think Arsenal are in a weird spot, and this is a Chelsea home game. Maybe the home fans will get them over the line, but I don't think this is going to be a classic. Personally, what are you seeing in London when Chelsea takes Arsenal?
Yeah, I love all of that. I mean, on the corner stuff, I think what I deduce from that is we're going to get shots from set pieces, and a lot of times that means shots from center backs. Gabriel, one shot is minus 155. That could be a parlay piece. Two shots is plus 340, which he had three shots against Inter when they had, like you said, 1,000,000 corners. I think that is going to be where they're going to try to win this game is on set pieces and Gabriel crashing the box. That's what he does. They're great at it for better or for worse. That is what they do well, especially right now without a healthy Martin Odegaard. Whether he plays or not, he's almost certainly not going to get a full 90. So I like Gabriel either one shot at minus 155 or two shots at plus 340. And then just in general, like you said, this doesn't have the feeling of a classic derby matchup. I like under 2.5 in this one. It just the way Arsenal have been playing this whole season, but especially with this minor injury crisis that's hit them. This is not going to be a team that is going to allow a ton of goal scoring chances, and they're not going to create a bunch either. And then we just saw Chelsea last week play what I saw described as the worst technical game from two big six sides in a long time. And that was against Manchester United last week, and they're 1-1. So I just see, these are two teams playing a lot of games. Chelsea was able to rotate. Arsenal, not as much in the midweek. And so I see two teams that are going into this and just don't have the bodies necessarily to score a ton of goals. So under 2.5 is where I'm at with this one.
Uh, is Raheem Sterling healthy? Like, are we?
Oh,
Should we put it?
is Raheem Sterling still a footballer? Like
Yeah, it's a
what is
good
going on?
question. It's a good question. Because I'm trying to go through one of the books right now to see if we can even get a number for him anytime this weekend, just because banter. But I'm literally not seeing it. I could just be dumb. That's also a possibility. Um, all right, let's jump to Spain. There's some fun games in Spain before we get to Real Sociedad, Barcelona. I just want to sneak one quick one because we're moving fast, and so I got some time. It's on the card. Valladolid, they're taking on Athletic Bilbao. Bilbao team total over 1.5 minus 130. I'm sorry, team total over 1.5 minus 105, so almost even money. I like that a lot. Valladolid are awful. They are so bad.
Yes.
This is a great spot to get Bilbao at a good number. And Bilbao money line and over 1.5 in the game is plus 130 on DraftKings. Bilbao, I think, are before today's matches. They were 2-2-2 and 2-2-2 on the road. They've scored 2 goals in both of their road wins. They scored 2 again today on the road. So I think they're now 3-2, 3-2-2. There we go. Math.
There we go.
And Valladolid has given up 2 goals in 3 of their 6 home games this season. So that's a great spot for Bilbao. But let's go to Sociedad Barcelona. And Barcelona, man, they are the real deal. They've figured it out. They are, they're back. Like,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
knew?
I mean,
Who knew?
all it took is, hitting on 9 kids from La Masia who are just superstars, which, turns out you just need to invest in your academy and you can put out a Champions League winning caliber team with a bunch of kids. But yeah, I
I
mean,
think
they're scoring goals. They're scoring goals like crazy. The numbers 55 in their first 16 matches under Hansi Flick, which is just ridiculous. That's the most in 16 matches in club history. So with this one, I have Barcelona. I mean, you can't pick against Barcelona money line. I know they just played midweek, but Barcelona money line and over 1.5 is plus money, which that just feels that feels free. Barcelona money line and over 2.5 is plus 145. And Barcelona money line and over 3.5 is a good number too. I like all of those, but especially the safe play at money line and over 1.5. That just I would put at least a unit on that one.
you copied my homework because I also had Barcelona and over 1.5 at plus 105. Barcelona have scored 2 in 8 of 9 games.
Yeah.
But Sociedad are 1-1-5 at home this season. Like they're not a good team. The Mountainous View, it's not paying off. Um, I also had Barcelona at over 2.5. I saw it at plus 150. It probably moved. Barcelona team total over 2.5 is plus 235. They've done that in 5 of 9 road games this season,
Yeah.
including at Real Madrid. So are we going to say that they can't do it at Sociedad? And first half over 1.5 is plus 138.
Can I play devil's advocate to myself here? The mitigating circumstances, which I'm sure is what the books are seeing, is obviously they played midweek, and Sociedad are. I mean, it's not a fun team to watch. Dare I say, the Arsenal of La Liga without the goals? No, I'm just kidding. They're going to bunker down. We know the game plan going into this. They're going to bunker down. But with the way Barcelona's scoring goals, I mean the over 2.5 has hit in 15 of their 16 matches this season, and it's because they just put in goals like no other team in Europe right now. And I don't expect that to stop, even with the midweek games, even with um, just some potential for attrition with Sociedad.
Come some quick player props, real quick. Rafinha plus 170, anytime goal scorer.
Yeah, yeah,
Dude's
I
on
like.
fire.
Yeah,
And score or assist, Yamin Lamal plus 105. Rafinha minus 120, score or assist. Let's jump to Italy. You've got some plays for the big one. It's Inter versus Napoli, 1 versus 2. Antonio Conte versus the team that wouldn't give him the money. That's every team, though, to be fair. None of the teams have given Antonio Conte
right.
the money he wants. Bro needs to go to Real Madrid so bad so he can just build his own Galactico team. I had something on this and then I chickened out. What do you think happens?
Um, I mean, as a member, actually, probably one of the founding members of the Antonio Conte hate club, I think Napoli's fraudulent. I cannot get on board with this team. All the underlying numbers are telling us this is an upper mid-table side at best, probably most likely a top four side in Serie A. I'll give them that. I mean, they have the players at least that they will be a top four side, but this is not a Scudetto winning side. Inter will win the Scudetto this season, just like everybody predicted before the season. And I mean, they're finally figuring out that defensive stalwart side that they had last season. They're finally bringing it back this season. And so I like Inter double chance and under 2.5 at plus 124. That feels like a very safe play for me. I mean, Inter doesn't lose at home. They have one loss in their last 21 Serie A home matches. This is what they do under Inzaghi, is they win at home. And they have clean sheets in their last three after that crazy game against Juve a few weeks ago. So I like Inter to. I mean, I like them to win, but I especially like them to win or draw, and not a whole lot of goals in this one because we know that's what Conte does. He plays his little terror ball and he hopes for counterattacks, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it's awful. So
Let's go to the other Italian team that I love betting on because there was a stretch where I loved betting on Napoli, and I'm happy that Napoli are a side that I can bet on again. I'm not touching them this weekend, but I do like the play. We're going to Monza. They're taking on Lazio. Lazio money line -130. They are on fire right now.
Yeah.
Another win today in the champion in Europa League. Lazio and over 1.5 is +135. Lazio team total over 1.5 is +106. In the first half, over 1.5 is +220 here. It's hitting 5 of the last 10 for both games. Monza stinks. They're down there, the bottom end of the table. And Lazio, Pedro's aging like a fine Spanish wine,
Mhm.
scoring goals for them. Tati Castellanos, shout out NYCFC, is cooking
Come on.
finally on a European stage. Dia didn't play for them, was rested today. Lazio are fun, man. They are a very interesting team. So I'm on Lazio all over the place again. I've been betting on them for a while, and I keep forgetting to tell the podcast listeners about it. So shout out to regular contributor to the podcast, Nick Diani at Nick Diani. That's his squad. So let's win some money with his squad this weekend. A couple last things. This podcast's second favorite Egyptian is +170 anytime goal scorer this weekend. Marmouche for Stuttgart. They are Marmouche versus Stuttgart. Frankfurt are playing Stuttgart on the road. Banger of a goal today. Bar down, top bins, beautiful goal in Europa League.
He's if we can stop right now and give the Ballon d'Or for next year, he's the favorite, right? I mean, he's smashing everybody he plays. It's unbelievable.
He's insane. By the way, Mo Salah +100 anytime
Oh,
goal
come
scorer
on,
against
dude.
Villa. Had to sneak it in there. Had to sneak it in there.
He's the third
Um,
favorite Egyptian?
yeah. No, he's the favorite
Yeah.
Egyptian of this podcast. Let's not kid ourselves. I mean, the man. This podcast exists because of the man. Let's be honest. This house is paid for, by Mo Salah anytime
House that
against
Mo Salah built
the house that
right
Mo Salah
here.
built is this one, and it's because he scores against Manchester United every single time. Friday, real quick in France, Marseille versus Angers. First half over 1.5 +126, hitting 3 straight for Marseille. And the part of the podcast you are all here for, it's the both teams to score parlay. It's 3 legs. It's +250. We are starting in Italy because Venezia are playing Parma, and 6 of 12 Venezia games this season, we've had the both teams to score. But 9 of 12 Parma games, they're on the road. This is 2 bottom tier teams in Italy. We should see goals there. Then we are jumping back to Brentford versus Bournemouth. And 11 of 13 Brentford games, we've had the both teams to score. Only 6 of 11 Bournemouth games, but I think we get it there, maybe even in the first half. And then we are closing with the king of all kings of the both teams to score this season. It's Wolves. 10 of 12 games, both teams to score, and they're playing Southampton 8 of 13 games, +250. All we need are goals. All we need is both teams to score. No alternate fourth leg. The alternate fourth leg is like 0 for 3, so we're not doing an alternate fourth leg for a while, but +250 for both teams to score parlay for the weekend. And that'll wrap us up. We have a break upcoming that me and Marcus, we've earned it. Okay,
That's
we've been
right.
putting in the hours betting on this game, and we need a break. So take care of your mentals. Take care of your take care of your kids if you have them. I don't know why you're listening to this podcast if you have children, but take
Log
care of them.
off, please. Call the
Touch
number.
grass. Touch grass. Take care of your pets. Take care of yourself. Drink some water. Call your mom.
Yep.
Let's have a great weekend, everybody. But go follow Marcus at Marcus Krum. Follow us at the Plus Money Pod. Follow me at Andrew Passaro. Let's win some bets, and we'll talk to you in a couple weeks.